Yo, what is up, everyone? My name is Dom, and we're here to talk about unusual options activity. Alright, disclaimer, this video is for educational purposes only. The statements made in this programming are solely the opinion of the show, are not a specific inducement to make an investment. One must perform their own due diligence and realize that all investments carry risk. There's no guarantee of profit. Okay, so first one I want to bring up is PAGS. Now, this is a Brazilian fintech company here. Now, what I was searching around here, I saw some call buying here in these June 2022 options, the 35 strike call that expire out in June of next week, or June of next year, not next week. And it looks like, upon further analysis, they were rolling out of these May 40 strike calls. So they owned the May 40 strike calls, they were selling those, getting out of them, and they were rolling up to or buying into these June 35 strike calls. Now, as you can see, most of the volume here was one single trader placing a lot of money on these calls here. I'm not sure if they had a profit or loss in these calls that they got in here. I assume they maybe had a loss because this stock has been down a lot. So what I decided to do here was a competitor, StoneCo, had the stock was down about 30% today on earnings. PAGS was dragged down with that. PAGS just reported a pretty solid quarter about a week ago or so. Kind of a little bit of a common theme here. When a stock sells off huge on earnings, usually I'll just get some calls that expire that week for a little bit of a short-term play. But if this trade does not work out, if PAGS is down tomorrow, I will probably cut the loss and actually get into a stock position here, because this thing has sold off incredibly from about 60 down to about 30 for no apparent reason that I can find. I like that these people are buying longer term calls here. That means that they're bullish long term, so I wouldn't mind putting on a stock position here. Obviously, I want to read over the earnings call, check that out, see what the analyst ratings are, interpret the earnings call. As you can see here, we had a little bit of a gap up on earnings here. I also like where this stock is trading. We're kind of making a little bit of a W shape here. Not perfect, but we are coming back down to test this 32.5 level. It looks like we dropped down below it intraday, which is kind of exactly what we did here. Dropped down below it, but we closed right at support. So I'm expecting a little bit of a bounce here. Last time it came down to this 32.5 level and closed there, we bounced all the way up to about 40. So these are some short-term calls that I'm in. Once again, if these calls don't work out tomorrow, if the stock is down again, I will look at how much technical damage has been done to the chart and possibly get into the stock here, because these people that are buying these calls are definitely super bullish. So next one I want to bring up is Lucid Motors. Now, we brought this stock up probably around this time here, probably below 30. We took the profit off. Probably, obviously, a little bit too early because the stock has run up to about 60. Now, I day traded some puts here, actually. I don't normally bring up puts on the channel, but there was some nice buying and obviously some nice buying in calls too. So, anybody out there kind of has to decide if they want to play this on the long side or the short side. I decided to do a little bit of a day trade here. I was in these November 19th 50 strike puts here, not the calls. I was in the puts, and as you can see here, just a huge amount of volume in these November 19th 50 puts here. But then again, you can also look here at these calls and be like, wow, there's all this volume here. So usually I kind of avoid situations like this where it's kind of a little bit of a battleground here between the calls and the puts. But I just think this stock has run up way too much. The valuation is just stupid at this point. I was not a trader in the 1999-2000 bubble, but if I was, I'm sure I would be sitting here saying this is pretty comparable to 1999. Some of these EV stocks, Rivian, you name it, they are literally going gangbusters, and I think it might be a good time to step in here and put on a short position with some puts. I would never go out and short the stock unless it's an extremely small position, because there's unlimited risk with that. But I do not mind, especially day trading some puts here, trying to make a little bit of some money and not putting too much risk on the table, because the calls expire this Friday, so we're not really paying up for a lot of implied volatility baked into these options. So everyone out there has to decide if they want to play this from the long side or the short side. if the stock is down, if the stock has a nice pop in the morning, I might look to put on some more day trades here, some more shorts here, some puts. I don't know, maybe puts that expire next week, so we're giving ourselves a little bit more time. But everyone out there has to decide for themselves what kind of risk they want to take. If they want to play this from the long side or the short side, calls or the puts. That's up for you guys to decide. So thanks to everyone who has been subscribing. I really appreciate it. My camera's going blurry again. I'm not sure why. Got to figure that out. But make sure to follow me over on Twitter at OptionGuru100. I talk about some trades over there during the day, so you guys can get in when I get into the calls or the puts. We'll see you in the next one.